First up at 6 o'clock tonight, new insight into the man who killed a pregnant 18-year-old and decapitated her boyfriend. And it's coming from a person who likely knew him the best.
Police say that Brady Oestreich was the brutal killer. He killed himself a week ago as police moved in on him. And tonight, his former fiancée is opening up, saying that she is shocked by what he did.
Target 8 investigator Marley Ginter is in studio right now with a story that you'll only see here at 6.
Well, Sue and Brian, it took some digging, but Target 8 tracked down Oestreich's former fiancée in Canada. And we had a reporter from a TV station there talk to her. She's revealing a side to him we haven't heard about yet.
The former fiancée didn't want to go on camera or have us use her name, but she was willing to talk about Oestreich. She says they met 12 years ago at a small Bible school in Michigan. In recent years, they started dating, eventually getting engaged until they broke up about a year ago. She says, quote, "He was my teddy bear. He had mood swings, but who doesn't?" She said he was never violent with her. She says the split was mutual. Quote, "We just wanted to end it before we were 5 years down the road and getting a divorce." She was shocked to learn Oestreich would look for sex on Craigslist, but investigators say that's what happened, saying he met Brooke Slocum and Charles Oppenheer in a park in Wyoming, then killed Oppenheer, decapitating him, and held Slocum captive before strangling her and killing himself. The former fiancé cried during the off-camera interview, saying, quote, "The guy I know and the guy who did this are two different people. Apparently in the last year, he made some bad choices."
Now, she also said investigators here have contacted her to learn more about Oestreich and that she's trying to avoid news coverage because she wants to remember her former fiancé as the man she knew, not the monster he apparently became. Brian.
All right, Marley, and right now joining us live over the phone is Tori Gillis from the CBC, and she's the reporter who went and interviewed Oestreich's former fiancé today. Tori, thanks for your time. First off, give us more of a feel of how Oestreich's former fiancée was when you started talking to her about him.
Thanks, Brian. It was certainly an emotional meeting. This woman is still reeling from the news that she heard the first time herself from police investigators. That was how she found out. Obviously, here in Canada, she didn't see that news right away, and it was something that the police had to tell her. Now, as you heard, she said it just didn't seem like the guy that she knew. She remembers him very fondly and very warmly, although she did say they broke off that engagement about a year ago. And since then, apart from a couple of emails, she said not really personal emails, they haven't had a whole lot of contact.
Okay, that was going to be my next question, Tori. So she hadn't really spoken with Oestreich since the breakup, but they did communicate maybe through emails or online.
That's right. She said just a couple of them, and I said, you know, could you tell anything was different? Was there anything kind of unusual? And she said, not really. It was, you know, with an old friend on emails. There was nothing that she was certainly looking for. She said she didn't expect anything to be wrong. So she's just very emotional about this. And, of course, she is mourning the loss of someone she loved, even though she's going through these grisly details and trying to understand how disturbing it is.
And Tori, we did hear earlier in Marley's item about the former fiancé said that he had mood swings. Did she have any concerns, though, about his mental health?
You know, I asked her that exactly. I said, you know, did you see any signs of mental illness? Were there any problems when you're together? And she just said, you know, it was just the same way that people kind of staying in close quarters are with each other. You kind of get tired of one another, but there was nothing out of the ordinary, nothing that, you know, struck her as unusual.
Tori Gillis with the CBC, thank you for joining us live on the phone tonight. She spoke with that ex-fiancé in Saskatchewan. Still a lot of unanswered questions about this whole thing, the Craigslist murders investigation, and we'll keep working this case for you. We will bring you updates as we learn them.